3, 2, 1, blast off! Jeremy?
You got the farts?
What are you doing over there? What's that weird thing you're doing with your eyes?
Blasting off. That's how I prep to sing with, my vocal cords. That's how I prep it.
Is that blue tape on your shirt?
Oh, yeah, but don't worry. I'm not scared of blue tape. Now, there are people out there that go, I ain't scared of nothing. And then go, blue tape.
I was terrified.
But
I was
I'm
terrified.
not scared. I'm not scared of blue tape. As a matter of fact, blue tape loves me. Look, blue tape says we're victorious over these freaks.
Happy Sunday fun day, everyone, and welcome to our weekly live stream where we get to hang out with you. If you're tuning in real time at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, we get to see your comments in the live chat, and Jeremy usually likes to start the live off with a song, and I'm pretty sure his pick is made out of blue tape. Or am I seeing things?
Because we moved into a town with no one around, all to get away from the snow. We put in a 2-inch line, everything was fine until they tried to steal all our dough. Now Mary was in town hall, couldn't do math at all, just kept calling the law. Well, she was sending emails to Worm, hoping he confirmed no one would know all her flaws. Now Lynette and John running their con, trying to get any money they can. Everything around them dies, then she fake cries. I don't like Fleesa, huh? Well, they'll all end up by a river in a van. Well, there's times all over town. Now they're taken down. Everybody knows who done it. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. They're living in a shed with no permit. Now Zim is telling Jason. Now Zim is texting Jason. Tell him to be erasing any permits for to town. Now I got my seat and the campground is complete. Power permits will all be turned down. Now they're all making threats. Fans are taking bets. Who's going to be the next in jail? Will it be the Flea and the Gnat, or is Crook going back? We just know it won't be what the Hales. We just know it won't be what the Hales. Oh, you want an encore? Okay. Because we moved into a town with no one around, all to get away from the snow. We got stalked and harassed, and now we're suing there. Well, you know what? Let's just stop it right there. We'll stop it right there. All right. What a week. Oh my goodness, George, I was just going over my legal journaling for court, and I don't even know how to summarize this week. There have been so many things that have happened. I wish I could do a flea cap, but it's more of a recap, and even then it's probably a freak cap. So instead of a recap, and it's not a flea cap, it's a freak cap. I'm stealing that from somebody out there on the YouTubes. And so I don't know if you caught all this, but here's your recap for the week. The week started, attorney Scott Stark passed away. But this information has almost been buried and suppressed by the feud between Lynette and Fleesa. Those individuals of the anti-what the Hales ecosystem that Deuce named and Deuce created. Fleesa is illegally treating Lynette as if she's in a guardianship, illegally keeping all of her money away from her after hosting a guardianship live stream with paint chips who defrauded a disabled man who was in a guardianship. Can you talk about hypocrite? Bruce is publicly posting and asking only me to fund more lawsuits after he slandered the man. Try and wrap your head around that one. And only me, if you're out there watching, which we know you are, if you want to fund a lawsuit, if you truly want to help Lynette and Crook and the child, they have the biggest lawsuit that they will win. They will lose everything else. They will win against Fleesa. So if you want to help them, if you were to fund any lawsuit, it's a guaranteed slam dunk against Fleesa with what she's done. Fraud by deception with all of this money. So only me. Why don't you put your money where your mouth is? And why don't you fund Lynette's lawsuit against Fleesa? Lynette celebrates her 63rd birthday illegally in a shed with no power. How in the world can you be on this earth 63 years and be in a shed illegally with no power and be
No
with your
plumbing.
soulmate who has taken no responsibility for not taking care of his family and providing for them? How disgusting. And she wants to post online, shame, shame, shame. Lynette, Crook is a shame, shame, shame. All right, we also have Lynette is reprimanded by the trustees, or excuse me, the trustee in the bankruptcy case. Now, Lynette then goes online and claims it never happened as she's yelling at John in her phone, and the trustee has to remind them this is a federal hearing. George, you were there. Did it happen?
Yes. So I got on 5-10 minutes early.
Okay,
5 minutes,
now
10 early.
pause. I don't want to get into any more of that because Randy doesn't want us to get any more of that. Is Deanna next to you?
Yes.
Deanna, were you there and did you witness the exact same thing that Lynette said did not happen? Can you come in the camera, please?
I'm coming.
Did it happen?
It happened.
All right.
I was there.
Madam Mayor and Brett were also in the meeting because they are debtors. And so, Madam Mayor and
We're
Brett.
creditors. We're not debtors.
Excuse
We're
me.
creditors.
I apologize. We are creditors. Madam Mayor and Brett, if you're in the chat, if you don't mind sharing, did this happen if you are in the chat? Vomit tells the police he hasn't contacted me in months, despite the exact same day that morning he sent me 2 emails, 1 email the day before. And how does that add up to months? Is he doing Lynette Fleesa math now? Oh, okay. Crook wants to start a fight with Megan and Tug, says see you in court, despite even Deuce being the worst lawyer ever, not wanting to touch and help Crook. So I'm not sure how Crook's going to see anybody in court when he can't even get his own representation. Okay, we got Lynette calls out Fleesa for using HG's likeness, name, and location on merch when Fleesa goes, that's not her. Yet there's only one HG in Otter Creek. Interesting. And the SaveHarleyGrace.com website, if you can bring that up, George, right now, is taken down due to, per recommendations by authorities and due to those using images and exploiting a 5-year-old child. This website is temporary, not visible. If you were to check this website right now, that was created by your What the Hale's anti-ecosystem, not us, by Fleesa herself. This is what's happening in regards to that. Okay, let's keep going on. Stupid Dave. David Teschendorf. Let me spell his last name for you. Teschendorf, even though it should be DORK. He's selling comics. He made with HG's image, likeness, and claiming it's not her. Which, by the way, I want to make a very serious announcement here tonight. Anybody that will share with us information that leads to Stupid Dave's, let me make sure you have his last name, Teschendorf, because he's now claiming that's doxing if you have somebody's last name, even though he's doxed and had individuals who doxed multiple times on his platform, and he's had his name out there anyway. Teschendorf, Teschendorf in Wisconsin. Anybody that helps us locate him, because he is in hiding. As a matter of fact, I just got a video from a private investigator in Wisconsin. Anybody that helps us locate him and that leads us to serving him, I will gift you $1,000. $1,000. Anybody, that's your reward. You help us locate him because he's in deep hiding right now. He's afraid to come out of his dwelling. David Teschendorf. Let me say that one more time and spell it for you. Teschendorf, even though it should be Teschendorf. It's Teschendorf, which, by the way, his name is public in all of the public documents in court. He is being sued, and it is going all the way. He will not be relieved. And even if he doesn't get served, we will then file to have him served by public posting or other ways as well. All right. We also have Marla Hughes, and I want to make sure you understand Hughes, Huges, not huge that I normally call her, who's also being sued in federal court, publicly posting the most hideous, despicable, we'll call them racist and put an R on the front of that, comments about Hispanic people. Disgusting. Absolutely inappropriate, and frankly, she should be ashamed of herself. We also have Ray Bonebreak Jr. publicly admitting his guilt in a video. He literally says, "It's my fault." He literally, I can't wait to show this to the jury. We got Lisa is saying the same things about Lynette that you and I have been saying this entire time, literally quoting us word for word. Isn't that interesting? And then Lisa going on to show proof that she's getting public records from Michelle Kesey at the Sumter. Now, I realize in my short video, I put P, Stump. You know, it was a joke, poop, Sumter, but it's S-U-M. It's Sumter County Sheriff Department. So Felisa is posting, literally handing the case right to us, saying she's getting the public information, but we're not. But then she wants to say, we don't understand how to use public information. Oh, that's odd, because we've been showing it for how many years now? And so now we don't get it. So she jumps on our bandwagon. She literally quotes us over and over again. Now she's saying all the same stuff about Lynette. And now she's claiming we don't know how to access public information. No, what Michelle Kesey has done, took the request and closed it and said completed and gave nothing. Nothing. That's illegal. And none of this, you got to wrap your head around this. None of this would have even taken place. We wouldn't have any of this information or evidence if Bubbles, F it up Bubbles, didn't create delay after delay after delay. Everybody right now in the chat, thank Fubbles. Thank F it up Fubbles, because he let it get to this point with all these freaks and fools with creating delays and all the inner fighting. And while you're thanking Fubbles in the chat, saying thanks Fubbles, you gave us all this evidence for court, and there's so much more they're going to provide for us. I've got questions, George. I think a lot of people have questions. I've got questions. Number one, where's the $56,000? Number two, where's the memorial? Number three, where's the play area for the child? Number four, where are the banners? Number five, where's the completed barn? Number six, where's the completed fence? And let me be clear, one side facing a road with tin and a freaking ridiculous tarp on it is not a completed fence. If anything, you may be able to call that a wall, but it's not. Where's the federal lawyer? And where's the Ohio lawyer? Where's the illegal emphasis? Where's the illegal raffle that was supposed to take place for the Afghan? Where's the illegal raffle that was supposed to be taking place for the quilt? Where's the gifted prizes that she can't mail out to the people who won them, yet she has no problem putting Bonehead's motions that she wrote in the mail? No receipts, no bookkeeping, no transparency. But you know what we do have? Lots of fraud by deception, which is a felony. And that is your free cap. Your freak cap. That's just the tip of the iceberg of what's happened this week. I mean, it's just insanity. It's insanity. I mean, I can't even fathom how people are going to wrap their head around this in court. The jury, like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, the deleted evidence, the fact that they've all deleted cell devices while they've been listed as defendants in lawsuits.
And they're editing and deleting comments, videos, shorts. I mean, the lives. Jeez, it goes on and on.
The biggest question is, why would Lynette put her child's life in danger by moving to Otter Creek on a piece of property with no existing home?
The biggest question may be, why is Lynette not saying that they are abusing an elderly, disabled woman when she said the same thing about us? And yet now they're saying the same things, the truth that we've told about her. It's coming. Trust me, it's coming.
There is a lot. Madam Mayor Adventures is in the chat, and they too can confirm that Lynette was yelling And then she silently yelled, and you see her like this in the camera. All you see is teeth. She was closer to the camera because she was holding it like this.
You mean all you saw was tooth? And we have Bubbles to thank for it all. Literally, Bubbles to thank for it all. Thank you so much for the super chats, guys. We wouldn't have any of this without Bubbles, George. It's amazing. Huh. Wow. Put Deuce on it. He'll F it up for you.
They're laughing at them.
Oh, well, and we have the 911 calls, which tomorrow is a doozy, and it will be a 911 call with lips. And you're going to hear Chips in the call as well.
Well, Cheeky, just to confirm, her front 2 teeth were all up in the camera, and she's like, she couldn't figure out how to get the camera, first of all, to get on. Oh, you can hear her, and you see her attorney on there, and he's just like turning red because he's so embarrassed, and she's yelling, saying, I can't figure it out, I can't figure it out. And he's like trying to tell her, just turn your camera on, trying to like calmly walk her through on how to turn her camera on. And she's yelling, and then you hear her yelling at John. And then the trustee, when she yells, like, mind you, no one's talking at this point. It's only her. You just hear her yelling. And the trustee had to immediately remind her that this is a federal court, knowing that she's directly talking at Lynette. She doesn't mention Lynette's name, but she says, just a reminder, this is a federal court.
She doesn't have to mention Lynette's name. Nobody else said a single word. The only person is Lynette.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
then
only
she's
person
out.
she could be communicating
She's just,
to.
and then once the trustee starts talking, she's just walking around like it's nothing. She's got on these earbuds. She's wearing like these earbuds, and she's got her hair up on a ponytail or in a bun, like a messy bun, and she's walking around. She's like standing over by the pens so that she can get peace and quiet. And it was just embarrassing. It was extremely embarrassing. And you could tell by her attorney's face that he was extremely embarrassed.
What a week. My goodness. I got to go fast through that freak cap because you got so much you want to share tonight, but I can't even wrap my head around all of the insanity of this week and these freaks. And the thing that always brings me back, Deuce did it all. Deuce did it all. It would never be to this point if he didn't falsely cause delay after delay after delay. They wouldn't have had time for all this infighting, but they do now. And there's going to be so much more coming out of this. And I can't even begin to even fathom how many criminal charges. I want to say this again. How many criminal charges are going to come out of this civil case? There has been so much theft by deception. You've got Fleesa putting Lynette in an illegal guardianship, even though it's not technical on the books. She's acting as if she's the guardian for all Lynette's money. It's Lynette's money. It is not Fleesa's. And if Only Me wants to help that child, fund the lawsuit against Fleesa. Marilyn Raby, yes! I miss Marilyn Raby.
Actually, none of this would have happened had Lynette just listened to the cease and desist, period.
Tasha,
let's take it back a step further. Had she not produced signs, handwritten signs, like she could have just taken no for an answer and moved on with her life.
She was harassing us before the handwritten signs as well. She was posting, she was making different Facebook groups just to defame us. And we were just ignoring
her and John.
Yeah. Correct. We were just ignoring it. And then we went, you know what? The only way this is going to stop is if this is the accountability through recognition of it actually happening. And so we began to document it and show it online. Any normal person would have stopped. But oh my goodness, these freaks and fools.
Yeah. Instead, she just spiraled and went out of control because we told her no. And now Fleesa is getting a taste of what it's like to be told no by Lynette and how she is. The entire PR team, when having a PR team goes wrong. And
she's going to court for it. And then you got Dodgy Robbie. Here's the funniest thing. Dodgy Robbie going, oh, yeah. I had a framer all lined up. This guy is such a pathological liar. And this is one of the reasons that we wanted nothing to do with him anymore. We would have a plan to go over there and film, and he would lie to me on the phone. Oh, yeah, it's going to be here. Yeah, it's all set up. And then I would be there with another employee for 8 hours, and there was nothing. And I'm paying an employee. So I'm paying an employee. I'm out all that money. We didn't film. I am out myself, my time. This guy is such a pathological liar. He does not have any framer. He never had anybody to buy a hoarder house either. He doesn't have access to money like that. And now, according to Randy, his wife can be added to Fed 2 as well for aiding and abetting. Not giving us the information that she's withholding purposefully, maliciously in Sumter County Sheriff Department.
Mm. Yeah, and if she was one of the 2 females in the vehicle that told the process server, no, we don't live there.
Like, how dumb can they be? And every time I ask that, they go, challenge accepted. Let me show you.
And they just continue to ramp up and act even more ridiculous. So the going back to the bankruptcy trustee, which was the creditors meeting, the trustee said that those types of meetings are typically 10-minute intervals, and that she did schedule it for September 3rd at 10, but she has a feeling that she's going to have to move it to later because there were so many interested creditors that joined the call that day. And so right now it's tentatively September 3rd at 10 a.m., but she's thinking she's going to bump it to later on in the day so that there's a bigger window than the 10-minute interval.
Oh, by the way, as we're all asking, where's the memorial? Where's the banners? Where's the 56K? The world wants to know, where are the lemur cages? Because that was all another grift and lie as well. And another reason why we want nothing to do with them. We stopped filming him and we cut him off because it's all a lie. And it's...
Can you imagine being someone who donated towards something and then
I had hundreds of dollars.
Flipping Adventures was one of the many people who donated towards the lemur cage, but can you imagine donating to something that you thought would be helping the family when they had no idea or didn't even want it? It was kind of like thrust on them just to be told it's none of your business when they ask for updates.
Pretty pathetic. That's a felony, fraud by deception. And Dodgy Robbie is already a felon. Felisa's headed that way. Her husband is a felon. If that is a husband, it might be her wife. It's still up for debate. We don't know. We don't have any proof.
Well, it's definitely his paramour.
Ah, yes, the paramour. The paramour. Yeah. His paramour. Felisa, his paramour. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Yep. I mean, the insanity. And I very much mean it. Anybody that
we knew that he owned restitution, so is that paid up? Because if it is paid up, then there's something suspicious going on.
Well, we've got people looking into that right now. And I'm very serious in regards to the $1,000 reward. Anybody that leads us to David Teschendorf or Dork, Stupid Dave, being served with his location where he's hiding, we will give you $1,000. I can wire it over. You will get the $1,000 reward.
Why doesn't he just accept the $1,000 and accept service via email?
Yeah, good idea.
What if he emailed Randy directly and said, I accept service via email, and then he gets the $1,000?
You know, he said he grew a pair.
He needs
so why doesn't he man up? If he's not guilty, why doesn't he man up and accept service? Mm-hmm. If he's not guilty and he wants to plead his case why he's not guilty, but he says he already has a motion ready, why doesn't he man up?
Yeah.
Is it because he's not a man?
Stupid Dave, email Randy. You have his email. Email Randy and just accept service via email or disclose your email, disclose your mailing address and where you're currently living, because we know he's a hopper.
We already have his mailing address and where he's living. He's a hider. He's
a hopper and a hider.
It's in the basement.
Listen, baby, baby. You think that 350-pound blob could hop? I don't think so. Maybe
Well,
wop.
hopper from like apartment to apartment to apartment.
Oh, I thought
He's
you
a
meant
bouncer.
Whopper from Burger King to Burger King to Burger King. I thought
From apartment to apartment to apartment. He hops around.
you don't think somebody wheelbarrowed him over there?
What?
You don't think stupid Bob wheelbarrowed him over there?
I just know that he has a history of moving because he can't afford wherever he's living, or maybe he's a serial squatter too, or a serial evictor where he gets evicted.
Well, we know it's not physical movement, so location, yes. Physical body, absolutely not. But yeah, you're right. He's a Whopper to Whopper to Whopper to Whopper as far as Burger King. Let me be very clear. As he's watching right now, you are going to court. You are being pursued to the fullest extent of the law. Even if you continue to hide, we will file to actually serve you through email, through public posting. You're still going to be held accountable. You are the one that made the choices to say the things you did and do the things you did. You're the one that made the choice to break the law.
This is true. This is true. It's one thing to report on a story and to go over court documents, but what they've done is all unlawful, and that's how they ended up landed in a lawsuit.
Thank you, all those that are gifting memberships. We truly appreciate that. And by the way, I didn't play the 12 string this time. I'm putting the 12 string from Grandma Donna on display. I want to honor Grandma Donna and Paul by putting that on display in the guitar hallway. And so I want to be careful how much I actually play it and actually have it on display in their honor. Lori, thank you so much. We appreciate the prayers. We really do.
Yes,
we really
welcome the prayers, Lori. Thank you so much. Lori, by the way, sent me the green wig. Shout out to Lori. And so she sent it to me. She had it mailed to Hale's headquarters. I opened it during fan mail there, and then I took it on the plane with me to bring it back to Florida. And I wore it last Sunday, and I chose to wear it because Lori sent it. And then I chose to wear the overalls and the Miss Hodank banner. I dressed myself, not you. That was all me. They're trying to give you credit for the way I dress and the green hair by Lori.
Double Karma says, I want to know where the broken tablet is that was used by Fleesa. Yeah, well, that's going to come out in court as well.
Oh, the tablet that she found screenshots of her show on, and she asked her about it, and she's like, that was whatever excuse she gave her.
Mr. Sal says, George, you look so good in that green wig. As a matter of fact, there were a ton of comments. They were like, it doesn't matter what color George's hair is, she's hot. And I will agree with that. It doesn't really matter. And by the way, I want to be very clear. One of the things that I find most attractive about George, and I'm not trying to be superficial, so it's not physical attributes, it's we laugh together. We love to laugh. And we crack each other up.
It's my cackle.
That is, I mean, what's George doing with the guy that looks like me, right? I mean, you're probably all wondering that. The only thing that I make her laugh, and she makes me laugh, and so it doesn't matter what color her hair is. I don't care. She often says, she's like, "What if I put on this much weight?" Listen, when we're busting stupid Dave for being 350 pounds. By the way, first of all, that's a problem that he needs to take care of. That's a serious problem, a serious health problem. But George goes, well, what if I put on that much weight? I tell her all the time, I don't care. I love you, not your body. Not that I don't love her body, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying.
Did you know that Lori sent you a green wig too?
No, where is it? Oh, you probably have it.
Yes, she sent 2 wigs, and I didn't realize that she sent one for you either. But I have it. I have it somewhere over there by my desk. I'll find it. I'll find it and I'll bring it. I'll find it and I'll bring it back to Ohio with me.
Deborah,
And
thank
then
you
we
so
can
much.
be to winning.
Hails to the victors.
I do want to give a spoiler alert because after the green wig, Dana Phillips messaged and she's like, I'm going to send you a blue and yellow wig. And I'm like, yes, please.
How
Bring it
about
on,
red and
I'll wear it.
what about scarlet and gray? What about
I'll wear that one
scarlet and
too.
gray? Just
I'll wear
throwing
one
that
of
out
those
there.
too.
George, just out of curiosity, do you get tired of all this winning? Do you get tired of all this winning? Everything happens that we say is going to happen, and these freaks and these fools. Do you get tired of all this winning?
Sometimes my back hurts a little bit from winning.
Yeah, I understand. I get that. I got
But
some
the
pain in my back
truth is,
right now.
and the reason why we are winning is because the truth will always come to light. Always, always,
Absolutely.
always. Green and gold, Lori. Heck yeah.
Nice. Nice. Very nice. My goodness, very nice.
To the yeah. But it was very sad to hear about Stark passing, and I feel really bad for his wife because
Yeah.
I feel like they got duped by Deuce.
Oh, big time.
And
big time.
they were targeted by Deuce because they were vulnerable people that didn't have any money. And so he promised them all of these empty promises, and now look at them.
She posted yesterday or today that she has like only $600 in her account. So many people are going, okay, well, what happens now with the sanctions and all those hearings? Those hearings don't go away just because Stark passed. Those are still in the court system. They move forward. And so Lynette is responsible for 50% of everything.
Yes.
So regardless of whether Stark is there or not, Lynette's still responsible for 50%. So then you go, okay, well, what happens now that Stark passed away? Well, his estate is responsible for 50%. And so any judgment would be against Lynette 50% and Stark's estate 50%. It's a horrible, horrific thing that he passed away. And I truly believe that he was victimized by Deuce. And also, my biggest belief is Jeannie, his wife, was the one that was probably, her ears were being tickled by Deuce with the guaranteed money. You're going to get this from a multimillionaire YouTuber, which is all false. All false.
Yeah.
They're not getting
why
any
else?
money.
Why else would a pro bono attorney have a 40-60 contract with Stark?
Correct. And
because he promised Stark all this money.
And so my offer to Jeannie Stark still exists. You absolutely have a winnable lawsuit against Deuce, Bruce Maskin, and I will back you 100%, despite Levy County court cases still moving forward against your deceased husband's estate. I can't help that. But what I can do is back you 100% if you want to bring action against Bruce Maskin. And I will back you 100% because you have action against him.
Yes. Yeah. And so the lawsuit that Deuce put into his ear about that statute, the thumbnail lawsuit, that statute, Lynette can 100% apply it to Fleesa and Stupid Dave because that's what they're doing. That statute applies to them selling merch with the likeness and the name of the child. We've never done any of that. That's why they withdrew the lawsuit because they would have never won.
We never did anything. We never did anything. We never made any money. So here's the thing. Again, only me, since you're watching. David Richards, since you're watching, why don't you back Lynette and suing Fleesa and Stupid Dave for using Harley's likeness and name and profiting from it? That's a winnable lawsuit as well.
Yes. And use the exact same statute that Deuce tried to use on myself, Jeremy, Larry Foreman, and DJ Radis. That statute would 100% apply.
That statute applies because they made merch, comics, they're selling them, shirts, they're selling. Even if Fleesa goes on, I didn't sell one, it doesn't matter. She tried to. And so that statute 100% applies. Lynette has a lawsuit that she can win against Stupid Dave, David Teschendorf, and Lisa Repulsy, Lisa Lee. Those are
Lynette knows that it's illegal too. Yeah, she knows that it's illegal too.
100% winnables. Those are guaranteed wins. Lynette versus Fleesa, Lynette versus Stupid Dave. 100% winnable.
Yes, because they are violating that statute. That's against the law to do with, especially without the consent of the caregivers.
So only me. Put your money where your mouth is. You want to help the child? Multiple people are using her image, her likeness, her name, literally putting her name and location on a t-shirt, a minor child. That's a huge concern in itself.
Very, very. Especially when Otter Creek only has a population of around 100 people and very limited children.
Fund that, only me. I can get behind that. Gina Security, thank you so much. And Gina just said, as of today, they're still for sale. I just checked. Wow. Seneca Chief, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
He says, you look like Cleopatra, but I don't look like Mark Anthony.
Oh.
More like Mark Wahlberg. How's your mother? Hey, how's your mother?
Tell your mother hello for me.
Tell your mother hello.
So there's been some screenshots that were captured this week that I want to go over. And then if we have time, we can go back into the timeline of what the Hales.
Let's see them. Debbie Vaughn just said, be right back. I'm curious if Debbie Vaughn got her package yet. But go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So Lynette posts, she goes, this was yesterday. She goes, we sit deeper in a hole than when we met any of them. And any of them meaning the entire
Fleesa, Gabe, Stupid Dave, Marla, you've got Vomit, Paint Chips, you've got Lips, you've got
Dodgy.
Robbie. Who else?
Dodgy
Robbie.
Yeah. The entire
you got Bonehead,
yeah.
Ray Bonehead. She literally is stating they are worse, and they are. They are in so much legal liability right now. It's insane.
She says, here we sit deeper in a hole than when we met any of them. And I'm the liar and the cheat and whatever. I'm not the liar and never have been on any side. So isn't it funny when her PR team calls her the liar and the cheat?
That is.
That's what we've been saying. Isn't that what we've been saying when she tried to skeet and scam us?
They said that we were victimizing an elderly disabled lady when we were saying that. But now they're literally saying what we say word for word.
Yes. She's saying, I do now have the handwriting report to prove that I did not, in fact, write any signs, and I will show it at the appropriate time. Everybody has used us to make money on YouTube and I guess all over the place.
Now,
so why does she just now have the handwriting report? Shouldn't that have been produced months ago?
So here's the crazy thing. We found out that Deuce paid for it out of his pocket. Then he was reimbursed through a fundraiser, which the fundraiser wasn't ever stated for the handwriting expert, which their handwriting expert is no expert whatsoever, which is, again, a felony. It is fraud by deception. You cannot use raised funds for things that are not declared. This is so many criminal charges are going to come out of these civil cases. It's just mind-blowing, which, by the way, she also states she's going to share it at the appropriate time. The time is long gone. Discovery has ended, and she's posting now, there's been no discovery. Oh, my goodness. How freaking stupid can she be? How much did Deuce not tell her? Discovery for her is long gone and ended, and they produced nothing.
Nothing. She keeps saying we gave Randy everything. Why didn't she give Randy that?
Silver Train and Lori, thank you so much.
There's screenshots of her saying she gave Randy everything. Why didn't she give him the report? Because was Fleesa withholding it from her? Was Fleesa withholding it? Because at one point I remember Fleesa saying she paid for it.
Treating her like she's in a guardianship again? It's interesting. So, by the way, everybody who's been telling us about the Heinz ketchup smoothie, I have no intentions whatsoever to try that. That's a line. Heinz ketchup ice cream? No. Heinz ketchup smoothie? No. Ketchup on mac and cheese, particularly homemade mac and cheese, whether I was telling you when Kaylin put the Swiss cubes on the mac and cheese on the Kraft. Holy cow, with ketchup, or Chick-fil-A mac and cheese. Oh man. Oh yeah, but the smoothie and the ice cream, that's where I draw the line.
That's like putting ketchup on cereal or ketchup on a sundae.
Draw the line. Draw the line.
So you know how Lynette was just so adamant that she's never asked you for money.
Oh yeah.
She's never asked you for a dime. She's never asked you for a penny. Well, she's saying the exact same thing about her PR team. And so what are some ways to ask for money or to raise money?
One of the ways that you can do that is you can share a sob story. I have $1,350 in bills every month, but I only make $800. Or something else I've heard from Lynette. I wish I have 70 acres for my rescue. The rescue of 70 acres would be so incredible. I need 70 acres, Or can I put up a donation box? Or constantly texting me and asking me for things she saw in videos. Those are just some ways.
So those are some ways to ask for money or to raise money. And so the way Lynette manipulates her lie to make you believe that she never asked for a penny or never asked for a dime, she'll use the words like, I'm raising money, or I'm asking for help. So she'll do a fundraiser. I'm doing a fundraiser. I'm doing a raffle or donations.
You mean that's not asking for money? That's not asking people for money? How many
According
GoFundMe
to her,
links do we have? How many GoFundMe links do we have?
Sharing PayPal links. That's called e-begging. When you share PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, and then telling people I need help, followed by those links.
You mean
that's asking for money.
You mean like Fleesa did and said it was for Lynette, Crook, and the child, and yet?
Yes.
Oh, there's no accountability and holding the money from Lynette. Yes. Oh, okay. Okay, I got you.
Lynette tries to manipulate people by attempting to capture people's hearts, pulling on their heartstrings with a sad story, whether it's because her car broke down or the transmission went bad, or they bought a lemon, or that she needs a car or a vehicle to get from point A to point B.
There was mold in the camper. There was mold in the camper. Well, why didn't you clean the mold and fix the camper like a normal human being?
Mm-hmm. And so she tries to set up these fundraisers, or she'll complain saying, oh, I need this, or I need that. I need help with this. Maybe if you know somebody, but then she'll come back and say, I never asked for anything. So let me show you how she did this. And this is the most recent grift where she claims she didn't get anything. This is how she manipulates people.
I'm ready.
Here she talks about how someone asked her, well, what about the $56,000 donation you got to pay for the RV? And this was yesterday. She goes, I never got any donations for $56,000. I never got one penny.
Pause 1 second. Yesterday was August. That would be 8, not 7. So everybody saw 7. George just put the wrong date on there.
That was the wrong month. I put the wrong month on there. So she talks about how she never got a penny of anything, not one dime, not one nickel, nothing. There was never a donation of $56,000. It's funny that the amount of money he raised for the aunts and to try to take my daughter away, who's never met her, really, because she would send videos to the aunt all the time and they would video chat. Didn't want her when she was in the belly of the tummy mommy, but now that amount was supposedly given to me. Do you understand that the person who did donate a large amount and others have all been spoken to? I've never been given a penny, any of it, not one penny. So this was back in July. This is right.
Okay, so that one was July. Which, while you're reading that, here's one of the most disgusting things that Lynette has posted in these past few days. She posted that she's now regrets saving Harley. Okay. So she regrets saving Harley. In other words, everything we've heard, she was going to be unalived. She now regrets saving Harley because this is her life and she's going to have to live like this. How disgusting to say that about your child. And that's online forever. Like, I can't wrap my head around that. How disgusting, how hideous these people are.
Yeah. So, so here's another example of how she'll word things to manipulate things to make it look like she never asked for money. So here's another really long post. I don't have time to go through it all, but I underlined a couple key areas on the line. And those of you who know, you know exactly where to go. You know exactly where the posts are. There's nothing copied and pasted. All it is a screenshot. It's a screenshot. I take all my screenshots with my cell phone. I get told about it. I go and check for it myself. I take a screenshot. So for the naysayers saying that it's all AI generated or it's all copy and pasted, I don't know what that means if I'm taking a screenshot. So however they're trying to manipulate
let's not call it manipulation. Let's call it the what the Hale's ecosystem. Our pathological liars.
Straight up lies. So she talks about how, hold on a sec.
While we're holding on a sec, word is that Fleesa has never had a child of her own. And word is, this is what I'm hearing online and I'm seeing online. Fleesa's trying to take the child from Lynette because she's never had her own child. And Fleesa has, this is what I'm reading online.
How could he have a child?
That's true. How could Fleesa have a child? The plumbing isn't there. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but I've also heard and read, and I can't deny or verify any of this, that Fleesa has threatened to report Lynette to the authorities because the authorities are concerned about the child's safety. So this seems like a huge setup to put Lynette in a guardianship, take the child from Lynette, and victimize Lynette and use her for money.
I mean, is she saying the same thing we've been saying, that the living conditions on that property is not suitable for a child that's supposed to have this life-threatening condition?
No. Why would Fleesa say that? As she denied it for almost a year now, but now she's going to come out and tell the truth? Come, George, you think a flea would lie for over a year and say everything's okay and then come out now and say it's never been okay? Come on.
Well, she finally got a taste of the real Lynette because she finally experienced the real Lynette that doesn't appreciate anything when you do try to help her. And out of everyone that lived in Otter Creek or that lives in Otter Creek, Brett and Therese helped her the most.
Absolutely.
The most.
Saved Crook's life.
And she, oh my God, she treated them the worst. Like, you think she treats us bad and badmouths ours and defames us? Like, she's worse with them, and they helped her the most. So
literally
going back
saved
to
Crook's life.
Because Lynette didn't know to call 911 because the man was septic, and she knew that. She didn't think to call 911. She called Brett and Therese, interrupted them during Bible study, and said, "I don't know what to do. Can you come help?"
Maybe she was hoping that they couldn't help. Maybe she was hoping.
I mean, she did say she wanted him out of her life, right?
First word she ever said to me. So insane. The craziness.
All right, so here we go. Here's the screenshot that I took. Not AI generated, not manipulated, not copied and pasted. She says, "We did not ask for anyone to pay our taxes, recently to pay our taxes." Okay, so someone tried to help her to pay her taxes. So that's how she makes it sound like she didn't ask anybody. And then fast forward to her long rant. She does a lot of long rants. She says, "We didn't ask for Christmas for the child. We didn't ask for the fence. We didn't ask for donations for the home." But she's told all these stop stories of how they don't have money to build.
She didn't stop it either.
She didn't stop it either. Here she says, I do not get welfare. Like, what is her definition of welfare when she gets over $800 in food stamps every month? I do not get any other state's assistance.
It's literally on her bankruptcy filing paperwork. Not to mention she asked for 65 grand to get rid of Crook, but
So that's how Lynette tries to pull on people's heartstrings or like making someone look bad by saying, I never asked Jeremy for a penny. I never asked him for a dime. Okay, well then let's show some examples of when she did ask you about money, shall we?
Sure, let's do that. And keep in mind that she's put up fundraiser after fundraiser using the child and fundraiser after fundraiser using animals. Both are neglected, animals and the child. And Lisa is literally coming out now and stating the concerns with authorities for the child and her own concerns after she's lied to everybody for well over a year now.
Which means Lisa knew the child was in danger and let it happen.
Yep. So here we go. She talks about, boy, was I stupid. I'm shocked beyond measure. She said she did not have any t-shirts or merch with the child's name on it. So who's lying to who? Because according to Crook, Lisa would never do that. He would never, they
whatever
would
it is,
never do that.
It's gross, whatever it is.
Oh man. All right, so January 4th of 2023, I'm going to jump around here for a second. She's messaging a former resident of Otter Creek, talks about how they met with the builder. Again, this is January of 2023, before any cease and desist letters were issued, any lawsuits, any injunctions. She talks about how they had a builder out to frame everything and not including materials. They wanted $15,000. Says I'm only going to have $7,000 so far. I need to raise like $8,000, but just don't know how to do it. I so wish I had the courage to ask Jeremy if they could help me do a raffle or something, but I'm way too embarrassed and don't want to think I want to use them. Crap, they just have such a large fan base. It would go so many people. Sorry, she has poor grammar, and so it's hard to read.
It's almost like reading something that Vomit did.
I have thought about it, and it could work, but I don't know how to get it out to a lot of people. Jeremy just messaged us that there is 2 big pits on his property. We will unalive them if they come here. We just have to. I think people dump them here. It's sad for the dogs. Remember when she said Crook has never shot his pew-pew?
That's true. And by the way, raffles in the state of Florida are illegal unless you get permission by the Gaming Commission, which Lynette does not have, and neither did Fleesa, for an Afghan or a quilt. It's all illegal. It's felony illegal.
So this one's dated January 26th of 23. I just watched it, meaning she just watched a YouTube video of What the Hales. When did they get home? I thought I saw them drive by, LOL. And the former resident said a day or 2 ago, today is the first day we saw them. She goes, yes, I couldn't swear. I think she meant I could have swore. And I saw them drive by. Ever since I asked him about how could I raise money? He messages me with smiles and things like that. He does not do that anymore. So I'm really gonna just leave him alone. So in other words, she knows that she's been asking you about money and that you've usually responded back to her. And then when she would ask for money.
Listen, we don't have time to respond to people. There's thousands upon thousands of messages every day. And those that I do respond to, it may be just a smile because there's not enough time. As a matter of fact, my phone was just going off from somebody in Georgia as we're even in this live. And so she would send these huge rants, long, and I would ignore them all and just go, all right, here's a smile. Just there's a smile, and I wouldn't even read it. But it was constant. Can I have this? What about that? I saw this. What are you going to do with this in this storage unit? As she lies in court and says she's never watched any What the Hales. Just because I watch a video doesn't make me a stalker.
Ever since I asked him about, how could I raise money? So then she says, I did offer to give him some vegetables for the chickens and stuff and to bait the pigs. And he said, he he has to catch the pigs first and he'll let me know, and to just cut it off. Like basically you told her to stop
Yes.
offering stuff until you catch them.
She constantly was giving us food from food banks that should have went to people, not to animals. And we didn't want it in the first place. And we're just trying to be polite. You understand there's freaks and fools all around. They walk this world. And just trying to be a polite neighbor, smiley face. Just trying to be polite. Okay, thank you. We never, ever let them on the property, thank God. They would leave food at our gate, but we never, ever from the first moment trusted them on the property. They are insane. And so trying to be a good neighbor, and then they went overboard. Now they're in court. They're not only in 2 federal court cases, they're in 2 federal court cases, an Ohio court case, 1, 2, 3 Florida court cases, and they got more coming in Ohio with others as well. I mean, you should have just stopped. By the way, that's a good takeaway home for all of the anti-Hale's ecosystem members. You should have stopped. And now there's no stopping me for justice.
All right, so let's keep going. She talks about, and it's like, okay, I really like, but we have too much problems for anyone to like us. So she already knows that they have so many problems that people don't like them. Why would she say that? This is January of 2023. So she talks about John is sleeping in the shed. Wait till you see how weird this text is. This is the rest of, where's the rest of that text? Maybe I didn't include it. Anyways, we can come back to that one. But she talks about how he may pass away in the shed, like the rest of this. All right, so here, May of 1623, she goes, I want to make something very, very clear. I have never once asked the Hales for money for my tortoise rescue, not once. And if that was said, then it's a straight up lie. So her asking for donations for her tortoises at our meet and greet and bring a tortoise wasn't asking for money?
Well, I'm pretty sure that's asking for money. Yeah. I think in any court of law, they will say that's asking for money. That
again, for manipulating people to think that she doesn't do certain things when she does. Clearly she does. I mean, she's doing it now to her PR team about the 56,000. She didn't get a dime.
How many people
So
do you think are going to jail?
How did she get a fence?
It's not a fence. It's a very poorly constructed piece of wood with tin and a tarp. How many of these individuals, all you in the chat, do you think are going to jail? Literally are going to get criminal charges in this civil case. Like there's so many criminal things that have happened by these freaks.
There is a lot.
So many. And I'm not just talking Lynette and Crook. I'm talking about all of them. Deuce, Fleesa, and the list goes on and on.
So then she goes on she's talking to somebody saying, if you're talking about me asking for money, I have never asked anyone for money. Sorry, not my style. This is coming from the woman who has so many GoFundMes and so many third-party like e-begging links.
Not her style.
Not her style.
3 to 4 a week. But not her style.
I have never asked Jeremy for a penny. It's all a lie. They all believe it. They are following like sheep to the lake fire. It's going to be unbelievable to see how many jump with him. So someone named Steve says, oh, never asked, no one ever. And then he starts posting copies of her GoFundMe. He debunked her. And then someone named Chris goes, ma'am, when you're asking for donations, that's basically asking for money.
It's
like,
not
stop.
basically,
Just stop.
It is asking for money.
From the planet.
So here she talks, here's another long rant that I screenshot. Here's this. She goes, I've never asked that man for a penny, but I'll say it here for all his fans to see. If you're so dang worried about me being abused and my little girl possibly being abused, which she's not, put your freaking money where your mouth is and pay him $65,000 so he can walk away and leave me in peace. She never asked you for money except give him $65,000.
And then the preacher said,
and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of GoFundMe links.
And this is the ordained minister. This is the ordained minister, right? Told you to shut your dang.
The pole dancing ordained minister. There's a big difference. Big difference.
Says, so she's talking to someone. Just because someone says something about you doesn't mean it's true, point blank. Well, she should take her own advice on that, because what she's saying about us isn't true, point blank.
And she's being sued for it.
I've never asked him for money ever in my life. It's all in his brain. I've never threw garbage on the road. I never beat my child. I've never done drugs. The last drugs I did, I was 23 years old and I died on my couch. True, absolutely true. But wait a minute, you just said you've never done drugs.
Ma'am, what evidence do you have that you died on the couch? I didn't die.
I've never done drugs. Last drugs I did, I was 23 years old and I died on my couch. Wait a minute, ma'am. You just said you've never done drugs. I've never touched a drug since I'm 60. I don't drink alcohol ever. I go to church. I did go to church. But because of the baby, I can't go to church. But yet I will.
This is like Fleesa. The baby's safe. Now the baby isn't safe. They belong together. Fleesa and Lynette should get married. Fleesa could be husband number 8.
Yes, I can't go to church, not yet, but I will be back. I love God with all my heart. I adopted a child who was going to be unalived in an abortion clinic. I saved her life only to find out that she has a life-threatening metabolic disorder, and now I am saving her from that by giving up my beautiful home in Northport, Florida, and coming to this Hale's hole. It wasn't a Hale's hole when I got here, but Jeremy Hale's turned it into a Hale's hole.
And speaking of Hale's holes, we've got a huge auction. We're over time already. I tried to get George moving a little bit quicker, but we didn't quite get there. I might have stolen a little bit too much time doing my
stole a lot of my time.
Yeah, it's the freak cap. I mean, these people, hopefully the freak cap is a little less next week. But what do we need to know about the auction?
We're giving away $100 tonight. We're going to have an awesome auction, and we're auctioning off these shirts. It says positive vibes only.
You ain't getting this one.
No, not that one. That one's not for sale. So if you haven't downloaded the app yet for our online auctions, I've pinned the link in the comment. Download it. If you haven't made a purchase, you should automatically receive the $15 and you can spend it anywhere. So I will see you guys at the auction.
Stay weird, my friends. Stay weird. You're weirdos. We love it. You need to end the stream. I can't.